studies, and higher education for Buddhist monks, novices, and lay people. This university has a strong commitment to be the leading center of various valuable science for human beings with the intent to educate people, conduct excellent academic research, and develop and integrate Buddhist knowledge with various science for development of university's academic results, academic studies. In addition, the university shall provide Buddhist academic services both directly and practically that shall lead to the balanced and sustainable development of human beings, society, and the environment. Mahachulalongkorn Ratchavidyalaya University has a strong intentions to be the international center of Buddhist and philosophical education and research, and to produce graduates with Buddhist academic excellence, abilities to apply Buddhist knowledge into various science, curiosity, spiritual and intellectual leadership, problem-solving abilities, faithfulness, and dedication towards Buddhists and the potential to develop themselves. To conduct research that develop the body of knowledge along with learning and teaching processes, emphasizing the development of Tipitaka knowledge through the interdisciplinary means, and to apply this knowledge to solve the moral problems in the society. It also aims to promote Buddhism and academic services for the society in accordance with the intentions of establishing the university through the improvement of various activities helpful for serving the work of the Sangha, producing knowledge and understanding to cultivate the greater sense of moral responsibility for the people, and to organize meetings, seminars, and conduct the Buddhist trainings for the development of ordained and lay personnel, with the leading personal characteristic for upholding and propagating Buddhism, as well as being a capable teacher for mind development. As an example of MCU commitment and dedication spreading the Dhamma to the world and being the International Center for Buddhism, MCU opened the International Buddhist Study College, or IBSC, in 2016 to develop and nurture the future leader of this world. And the mission of IBSC is to foster the development of students' research skills, such as independence, critical thinking, problem solving, initiative, and professional contribution in order to produce religious leaders, qualify academic personnel, and researchers in the field of Buddhism and peace studies. IBSC has commitment to support Buddhism in its multicultural manifestation to ensure a higher level of religious and academic service by providing Buddhist education for monks, nuns, laymen, and laywomen from all around the world, and okay, so I thought my microphone was turned off for a little bit. So please let me continue. And currently the university is offering the Bachelor of Arts, Master of Arts, and PhD course in Buddhist studies, as well as providing an MA and a PhD in peace studies. IBSC is committed to the continued growth and evaluation of its curriculum and students, such as the one-year meditation master certificate program. And the International Buddhist Study College, or IBSC, is a world leader and one of the most respected, notorious institutions in the world, as evident by the college number of the affiliate university that IBSC is in collaboration with. So in this afternoon session, you will listen to a special speech on the contribution of Buddhist values and practices to sustainable development goal given by Venerable Professor Dr. Brahmapundit, a member of the executive committees of the Supreme Patriarch of Thailand, acting Sangha Central Regional Governor, President of the Papariyati Center of Thai Sangha, President of the International Council for the Day of Vesak, or ICDV, the President of Committee Sangha Propagation Buddhism, Abbot of Wat Payuna Wongsawat Waravihan in Bangkok, and right now the most venerable Professor Dr. Brahmapundit, Vice President of the University Council, is with us for the new student orientation ceremony. So I would like to humbly ask you all to turn on your cameras.
Recording in progress.
Show our respect to the most venerable in this online ceremony, please. Thank you. And on this occasion, may I respectfully invite the most venerable Professor Dr. Brahmapundit, Vice President of the University Council, to deliver a special speech on the contribution of Buddhist values and practices to Sustainable Development Goal. Peace, most venerable.
Good afternoon, rebels and friends. Welcome you all to MCU to be our students. This is a beginning of your study. The IBSC provide you the orientation program to prepare you for serious studies. So there is a saying that we'd like to share with you, that a job well begun is half done. Wait for my PowerPoint. Where is it? Oh, what I mean is that if you prepare yourself for a serious study, this is a moment that you have to be ready physically and mentally. Determination is the key word, because you join the program in the times of crisis, the pandemic of COVID-19. So there is, this is a time to do something like a SWOT analysis of your readiness in study. SWOT used to analyze your determination for the goal. S stands for strengths. W stands for weakness. O stands for opportunities. And T stands for threat. So you analyze yourself that what is the internal factors conducive to your success in joining MCU for the MA or PhD, starting from BA to PhD programs. What is your strength? Your time, your fun, and your language skills. If you have all these factors, then you are ready to join the program. And the W stands for weakness. I think weakness, that is internal matter relating to your to yourself. For example, if you have no skill in, say, no knowledge of Pali, the Pali language, so that is one of the weaknesses. Another is, if you live in Thailand, you have to learn the Thai language as a working language, but above all, English competency, efficiency is needed. So I hope that language barrier would not be harmful to your achievement of your goals. So analyze now, are you ready do you have skills in the languages like Pali, Thai, and especially computer literacy? Because we live in the time of pandemic spread, but somehow it is opportunities, the external atmosphere, the opportunities for you to, maybe you live in your own country. MCU provide you the distance learning, a kind of teleconference that's going on. This happened this time because of the problem related to the spread of the disease, COVID-19. And it becomes opportunities for some who cannot travel to Thailand and take this opportunity to study through teleconference or to online project. Another thing is about threat. What is the problem, the hindrance that prevent you to achieve the goals, not to complete your MA or PhD program? Maybe because of the lack of opportunity to meet in person or super writing a thesis. If you are preparing for developing skill in the language, distance learning may not help you much because you have to meet with your teachers to learn the languages, something like that. So you have to solve the problem. If the problem comes from outside yourself, how to deal with it? That is the external threat. And if the deficiency in language, you have to prepare yourself. Why I talk about SWOT analysis? Because you set the goals, your own goals for completing your education at MCU. Without the goals, there is no need to analyze your readiness. In the same way, I'm talking of the goals set by international community that is the United Nations. They set the goal to be achieved in the year 2030. It's called SDGs. SDGs stand for Sustainable Development Goals. They set the goals and they have to do SWOT analysis of strengths, weakness, opportunity, and threats for achieving the goal. They have to analyze this. So we analyze ourselves, whether we will be able to achieve our goal in study at MCU, and at the same time we learn from the world body, UN, which now they are talking about SDG, Sustainable Development Goal. There is a term that we have to educate ourselves. That term is sustainable development. What is sustainable development? This term was first introduced into the world body in the year 1987. 1987, more than 30 years ago. Sustainable development is development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So this is the definition of sustainable development at that time, at the beginning of the project. It related to preservation of environment for the future generations. But after some time, United Nations change or expand the definition, the idea of sustainable development to include not only environment, but in the concept, it is extended to include economic development and social development. If you can see in this logo of the meeting, the UN meeting on development in the Rio de Janeiro in the year 2012. The logo is like this: Rio plus 20, the future we want. So you will see this picture stands for sustainable development, signifies sustainable development. Above it is the leaves, green leaf, and that stands for environment, green planet. And below that is a star like this. This is the index of economic growth. And at the bottom is a picture of a man. Is a man which stands for people. So the three pictures comprising the logo signifies economic development above, environmental preservation above. In the middle is economic growth, and at the bottom is people or social development. So in the year 2012, United Nations define sustainable development to be development in three aspects: social development here, economic development, and planet, green planet, or preservation of environment. In that year, the United Nations sets up a committee to draw up the plan. The plan that will help the world body to achieve the goals of three kinds of developments. How to achieve the goals of economic development, social development, and environmental preservation. So the committee had drawn up the plans and come up with 17 goals to be presented to the world body. And the world body, that is the United Nations, adopted the 17 goals. It's called Sustainable Development Goals. And have a solution, pass a resolution that the world body and will encourage the whole world to achieve these goals, 17 goals, that is, in brief, is SDG, Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, in the year 2030. That is starting from the year 2015. For 15 years, we have to strive for achieving SDGs. However, there is, when we analyze in terms of SWOT analysis, we find that right now there is a threat to our goals. The world as a whole cannot expect to achieve SDGs or the goals in the year 2030. Why? Because of the pandemic, the spread of virus COVID-19. This is a threat. So we are looking for opportunity. It's quite difficult because of the separation, social separation or social distancing that keep us apart. We are not able to come together, to work together, even for study. So this kind of threat to the goals going on, we expect to overcome this threat together in Thailand and in your countries. What are the 17 goals for sustainable development? As I show in these pictures, for example, no poverty. We hope that the whole world will be no longer in poverty line, to be above poverty line set by the UN. No, number 2, for example, is no hunger. In spite of plenty of food we produce in some corner of the world, but people in Africa are still hungry, something like that. Another thing that is we are facing the problem now is a health problem. Number 3, that is good health and well-being. We cannot expect to achieve this goal when the world is facing the threat of coronavirus, that is COVID-19. So these are the goals that 17 goals that we want to achieve together. Number 16 is about peace, and 17 is partnerships for the goal that we have to cooperate, to work together. Not only the government agency or state by state G2G, that is government to government cooperation, but also individuals throughout the world have to come together to join hands, help the world body, the whole world to achieve the goals. Wherever you are, wherever you live in any organization, in any religions, the United Nations invite you all to come together, to join hands, so that we can achieve SDGs, SDG goals by the year 2030. So that is partnership for the goals. So the purpose of today's talk is relating to number 7. I want to introduce to you the 17 goals from the perspective of the Buddhist or the Buddhist values. How can we, the Buddhists, contribute for achieving the goals? As students of MCU, or as the Buddhist readers, or the Buddhists as a whole, how we can help the world body achieve sustainable development goals. If we delay, we hesitate to do something because of the hindrance from the pandemic COVID-19, that is very unfortunate for the whole world, because it will fail to achieve SDGs by the year 2030. Since it's quite difficult to remember all the 17 goals, so in some seminar, for example, in the Vatican seminar on religion and sustainable development goals, 2 years ago, I have opportunity to participate in the Vatican conference. In that conference, there is a summary of the 17 goals to 5 points. 5 points or 5 main points. That is, they summarize the 17 goals into 5 points, 5 factors. Number 1 is we call 5P, sustainable development P's. Number 1 is people. You see, P stands for people. Another P is prosperity. Another P is planet. Another P is peace. And the last one is partnership. You can see 5 P's represent 17 goals of the United Nations. First P means people. People are members of society. So people stand for social development. Prosperity stands for economic prosperity. And planet stands for green planet, that is preservation of environment. Another factors that come into the scene is peace. Why peace, which is in one of the 17 goals, stand out here because it is a foundation of all kinds of development, that of the three developments. I call it foundation because without peace, you cannot have economic development, you cannot have social development, nor you can have preservation of environment. How can you expect to find economic development in the warring states when they are fighting? Government and the rebels fighting against each other, no time for economic development. And social disintegration during the wartime is harmful to cultural development or social development. And in time of war, somehow we use the chemical warfare, the napalm bomb to destroy environment. So it's quite difficult to grow trees during the wartime or in a war zone. So these three aims, people, economic or prosperity, and planet preservation, these are possible because there is peace in the world. So maybe some would set priority that we have to achieve peace in the land first, so that we can go further for economic, social development and in environmental preservation. MCU share this value, this idea. That's why we set up a program for MA and PhD in peace education. You are welcome to join peace study or peace education program at MCU in IBSC. And another P, the last one, is partnership. We have to join hands, work together, in spite of difference in nationality, races, religions. We still work together, be forming partnership to work for the goals, that is to achieve economic development, social development, and preservation of the planet, and especially to bring peace into the world. So with this picture or vision is a mental picture, future pictures in the mind, what we want to achieve. With that vision in our mind, we join, we share the same vision and set timeline to go to arrive at the goals. At least I say here 5 P's or 17 goals, whatever they are, we want to achieve. And timeline is in the year 2030, how to go there. Anyway, another kind of summary for the 3 goals is they're using 3 pillars of sustainable SDG, that is social development goals and environmental preservation, economic development. These 3 aspects aim at sustainable development goals, you will see. But from our point of view, religious point of view, peace is a foundation. Maybe peace is somewhere here, and a foundation of three kinds of goals that we have to achieve together. One, this is the roof, where we signify cooperation. We have to connect, to join, to cooperate, so that we can move towards the goals and achieve in the year 2030. And I give you an example for economic development, such as no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being. I have mentioned the three goals. And goal number 6, clean water and sanitation. And number 8, decent work and economic growth. Goal number 9, industry, innovation and infrastructure. This is related to economic development, reducing inequalities. These are the goals. I categorize them as economic development. For social development, I find 5 goals related to this category. That is goal number 4, quality education, equal opportunity for education or education for all. And goal number 5, gender equality, especially the female right that to be preserved. And number 11, sustainable cities and communities. Goal number 16, peace, justice, and strong institution. I emphasize peace to be the foundation of other goals. Number 17, partnership for the goals, a kind of cooperation that we need to strive towards the goals, 17 goals. And for environment, that is a kind of affordable and clean energy. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. And that reminds us of the Buddhist value of Buddhist economics. Number 13, climate change. We have to deal with the climate change right now because the problem is quite serious and create the problems of flood and forest fire and any other problems there. Number 14, life below water. And number 15, life on land. How to use our resources in the forest, trees, including all kinds of resources wisely. And that is the aim that we need to achieve together. So come to the Buddhist strategy. The Buddhists have to help achieve the goal because we follow the Buddha service to the whole world. We call Puttata Jariya. The Buddha service to the world can be divided into 3 groups. And the Buddhist, all of us has to follow the Buddhas to give a service to the whole world in 3 categories. Number 1, we have to we have to perform beneficial conduct for the Buddhists. We have to help or serve the Buddhist world. As a Buddhist, we work together for the economic prosperity, social development, and preservation of environment in the Buddhist community in your country and other countries. Number 2, we have to perform conduct for the benefit of relatives. Relative, that is, wherever you are, you have relatives, you have co-workers, or even people in your nations, you work for their prosperity. Number 3, conduct for the well-being of the world. You can see the generosity of the Buddha. He helped not only the Buddhists or his followers. Sometimes he meet with people of different faiths, the Buddha himself, not to convince him or her to be a Buddhist, but just to discuss the Dhamma and depart as a friends. Sometimes the Buddha himself encouraged, for example, he encouraged Siha Senapati, Siha, who is a minister at that time, to offer to continue to give alms or offer food to Nikantha, the ascetics whom he worshipped before being converted to Buddhism. So he can continue. The Buddha allowed him, Siha Senapati, to give alms to ascetic outside Buddhism. So that is his generosity. Another thing that I would like to tackle here is that Buddhist values that we have performed or preserved, which will enable us to work together to achieve SDGs, can view as a kind of people-centered development. And number 2 is a middle part. Number 3 is balanced development. I have no time to explain it. I just want to continue that Buddhist value is a kind of middle balanced development, because in economics development, SDG, economic, social, and environmental development, related to 2 components of a person, Namarupa, mind and body. So the Buddhist strategy is regarded as mind and body are independent originated. They cannot be separated. We have to develop both factors or constituents or components of our person, Namarupa. So the factor related to SDGs, 17 goals, have to take care of both mental and bodily developments. If you give emphasis just to one aspect of your life, too much emphasis on my mental development, then you fail into one extreme. If you emphasize another, for example, bodily development, neglecting spiritual or mental development, then you fail into another extreme. So the Buddha said, by avoiding the 2 extremes of sensual pleasure and self-torment, the middle way of develop. So we have to separate ourselves for the 2 extremes. Sensual pleasure, that is kama sukhalika niyukha, and self-torment is atta kilamatha niyukha. So the middle way of development is a balanced development of mind and body. So with this set of goals in our mind, 17 goals. If we want to achieve, we have to be in the middle way. What is the middle way of development? There are 4 kinds of development that we call it a middle way of development. That is, we have to take care of 4 components of our personality. Number 1 is Kaya Bhavana. Bhavana means development. Kaya means physical factor, that is our bodily factors. Kaya Bhavana means physical development. Number 2 is Sila Bhavana, is a social development, development which is related to social relationship, is about Sila Bhavana. Number 3 is mental development, Chitta Bhavana, development of the mind factors. Number 4 is intellectual development or wisdom development, Panya Bhavana. In Buddhist framework, 4 kinds of developments have to be taken care. If you emphasize on you use just appropriate technology to produce, so that you will not do a harmful action towards environment. At the time of production, use appropriate technology, not to destroy environment, not to harm, to observe the precept in Buddhism. So Buddhist economics stand for that, and it reminds us of King Bhumibol sufficiency economy. He proposed to Thai people to follow his sufficiency economy philosophy, which focus on living a moderate, self-reliant life without harming social and natural environments. So philosophy of sufficiency economy proposed by former King Bhumibol has been translated into practice and policy in the year 1997, when it was taken as the guiding principle of national development in the 8th Economic and Social Development Plan of Thailand, starting from the year 1997 to the year 2001, up to the present 5-year Economic and Social Development Plan. We have taken philosophy of sufficiency economy to be the guideline of our national development plan. You see, from the Buddhist economic values, taught by the Buddha, become the foundation of philosophy of sufficiency economy proposed by King Bhumibol, the late King Bhumibol. And now that philosophy of sufficiency economy become the foundation of economic and social development plan of Thailand after to the present day. So you can see that the Buddhist values found in the plan contribute to achievement of SDG. I can say that the philosophy of sufficiency economy incorporate the concept of the Buddhist values like the middle path, Majjhima Patipada, expediency, Mattanyutta, happiness, Sukha, etc. And I would say that since I have limited time, for example, Sukha, happiness in sufficiency economy comes from the Buddhist value of 4 kinds of happiness for the lay people. Number 1 is Ati Sukha, happiness of wealth ownership. When you work hard and own property or money, that is Ati Sukha, number 1. Number 2, in Buddhist economic aims at Sukha, you aim at the happiness of enjoyment of wealth that you accumulate, Bokha Sukha. Number 3, Anana Sukha, the happiness of freedom from debt. Number 4, Anavacha Sukha, happiness of blamelessness, that is of working without corruption, without by observing the 5 precepts. You work as a good Buddhist person. Because of his contribution to the world body by means of sufficiency economy, the former King Bhumibol received the UN Human Development Lifetime Achievement Award in the year 2006, as you can see the picture. So this is a kind of contribution that we can find in the Buddhist community in Thailand. Number two, related to social development, that is Sila Bhavana. In the Buddhist framework, it means development of good and friendly relationship with other people. How can we achieve the social development goals? We find these goals in the SDG: gender equality, sustainable cities and communities, peace, justice, and strong institution. I said earlier that peace is the foundation for social development and other developments also. So we have to develop together. We have to try together to achieve goal number 16, which is to be the prerequisite for another goals. What is peace? Peace, I would say that peace is very important here. I say this. Peace is not only the absence of war and conflict. It is the presence of unity, harmony, freedom, and justice. So there are two kinds of, maybe I would say that two negative definition and positive definitions. In negative approach, you achieve peace when there is no war and conflict, calmness. But that is not enough. The positive aspect of peace is the presence of unity, harmony, freedom, and justice. In society where unity, harmony, freedom, and justice prevails, it means you achieve peace. And peace comes from your mind. And it's the Buddhist goal. Nati Santi Parang Sukham, meaning peace is the greatest happiness, the Buddha said. And peace can be divided into inner peace, Achatta Santi, and outer peace, Bahita Santi. For I would say that there is the layer of peace. The inner peace is peace of mind. And outer peace is peace with other human beings and peace with nature. So you can find that the peace is a goal of NDG. Pave the way for preservation of nature environment, that is number 3, the third layer, peace with nature. We do not harm, we did not destroy environment, we live in peace with nature. That is the third one. The second one, peace with other human beings, other members of society. We observe the precept not to harm them, to live peacefully with other people, with environment, natural environment. How can we live in peace with other human beings and social environment? Because we have peace of mind, mental peace. Peace of mind is the prerequisite for outer peace. Inner peace or peace of mind is the prerequisite we need first for achieving peace in society and peace with nature. How can we achieve inner peace or peace of mind? UNESCO preamble confirm the Buddhist value that we have to start from peace of mind. In the preamble of UNESCO, we find this sentence very significantly. Sin wars, I quote, sin wars begin in the minds of men. It is in the minds of men that the defense of peace must be constructed. You see, UNESCO strategy reflect the Buddhist value of peace of mind. Nati Santi Parang Sukhan. Peace of mind is the greatest happiness. There is no higher bliss than peace. So peace of mind is needed. By means of meditation, we develop our mind to be in peace, and loving kindness, compassion in our mind will be the foundation or the defense of peace, of world peace. So let us share the Buddhist value of metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, mudita, altruistic joy, and upekha, tranquility. But with other people, tranquility, with other people, so the whole world will be in peace. So that is a kind of social economic development that is Sila Bhavana, social development, and mental development for peace. Now come to the last one, last category of development in Buddhism, that is intellectual or wisdom development. Is the development of cognitive state of mind, such as wisdom or insight into the true nature of things. We talk of not only IQ here, we talk about EQ, emotional intelligence. So wisdom development can help us to develop insight to see the true nature of things that are interrelated, interconnected under the law of dependent origination, paticca samuppada. Four goals, four NDGs fall into this category. That is goal number 4, quality education. Quality education is not only quality of education, but also education which emphasizes on mental development, wisdom development from the Buddhist perspective. Climate action, we have to take action to solve the climate change problem. That goal number 13. And goal number 14, we have to preserve life below water. And number 15, to preserve life on land. How can we protect and preserve environment? Because we have wisdom. What is wisdom? Wisdom is awareness of interconnectedness or interrelationship of all things. We cannot live alone. Human beings cannot prosper when they destroy environment. How can we be happy when in our land, in our country, we cut trees, the river dry out because of no rain, nothing. In the dry land, in the harsh environment, we cannot grow rice, we cannot grow trees. Economic problem arise. So all kinds of the problem are interrelated. We can understand this because of our wisdom. see into the true nature of things, which are interconnected, interrelated. That's why I would say that when we come together to study at MCU, you have to develop your panya or wisdom, which is the ability to see inner quality and relationship to have insight. Inner qualities mean you understand or realize the true natures of things, impermanent, subject to change, and no essential nature. So they come together, they come into existence because of interconnectedness. Paticca samuppada. It is their relationships. Once we see this nature-dependent origination, we can have what I would say that we can have compassion. We see our fellow beings to be our friends, our relatives, to help with compassion, to work together for the prosperity of other human beings who serve the whole world. So you come to MCU to help the whole world achieve the goals of 17 goals, which falls under 4 categories: Kaya Bhavana, physical development; Sila Bhavana, social development; Chitta Bhavana, mental development; and Panya Bhavana, wisdom development. Don't forget to develop yourself in 4 categories: your body and mind, especially your wisdom. Through training at MCU by means of education that emphasizes on meditation practice, don't forget to join practicing concentration meditation, samatha bhavana, that provide to you insight meditation, vipassana bhavana. Especially the second one, insight meditation, vipassana bhavana, is unique for Theravada tradition. Vipassana bhavana is a kind of meditation which is different from the first one. Samatha bhavana, meditation that can bring peace into your mind. Vipassana, the second one, is a meditation that bring wisdom or develop wisdom in your mind. So join 2 kinds of the programs of meditation practice if you can. And you will take the insight into the true nature of things, to see that everything is interconnected, so that you can have loving kindness, metta, compassion towards your friends, toward other human beings, and towards environment. This is a true education in the sense of wisdom development that we assure you to achieve only when you not only learn the theory of Buddhism, but also practices in daily life, especially practice meditation. First, join the program of meditation practice and apply that the wisdom that you develop in your mind, in your daily life, in helping people, in helping the whole world to achieve SDG Sustainable Development Goals. This is my suggestion to you on the first day of your officially joining the program at the time of orientation. I wish you all success in your study at MCU. So hope you enjoy living in Thailand and be successful in every aspect of development, physically, socially, mentally, and intellectually. May peace and prosperity and success be with you all.
Thank you very much, Most Venerable Professor Dr. Brahmapundit. And for those who might not know, Most Venerable is a key person who established International Buddhist Study College. Most Venerable affirming I established IBSC is not for MCU, not only for MCU, but also people surround the world. For this reason, Most Venerable, as the president of International Buddhist Study College, try to invite Buddhist scholars around the world, consists of Theravada, Mahayana, and Vajrayana, to complete common Buddhist texts. At the same time, Thai government appoint Most Venerable to be a chair in order to translate Tripitaka from Pali to English version. At this moment, I would like to thank Most Venerable again, who give us a chance to give a lecture today. Thank you very much.
So on behalf of lecturers, entire faculties, members, staff, and all students,